have the best kit combos that you need to start using in Roblox Bedwars. Also, consider subscribing. For the first kit combo, we have the Pyro Kit and the Hammer. If you don't know what the Pyro Kit does, basically, you can buy a flamethrower and you can use it to deal an insane amount of damage to people. And once you hit an enemy with your weapon of choice, it does even more damage than it's supposed to. So if you pair this with something like the Hammer, which has a really high base damage but low DPS, you can do an insane amount of damage really quickly. You can also switch between the two, so you can have sort of like a mid-range weapon and then sort of like your close-up hammer, and you'll just become a literal juggernaut. Like, no one's gonna be able to kill you because you deal an insane amount of damage really quickly. You can also use this as a solos and a squads kit if you really wanted to, since the final hammer's ability actually does heal your teammates around you. So it's a really good kit for your squad mates as well. They also recently buffed the hammer to where it's a lot easier to hit people, and I've really noticed the changes. Like, it's so much easier to kill enemies, and when paired with the Pyro Kit, it just becomes even stronger. The only real downsides to using this combo is that for early game, it's not that great. You don't get any abilities right off the bat, so it kind of makes it pretty mid for early game attacks. For the next kit combo, we have the Nyx and the Scythe kit. If you don't know what the Nyx kit does, basically you can charge up your little knight ability, and then you can just start doing an insane amount of damage with your combos. And this is where the Scythe really comes in. Since it's a mid-range weapon and has a little bit more range with the sword, you don't need to worry about getting comboed yourself and can just focus on your combos. The Nyx ability is also really good with the Scythe. Since it is that medium-range weapon, you can get combos off really easily, and it does a higher base damage as well, a lot higher than the sword. So if you get something like a diamond Scythe early game, then you're never ever gonna have to worry about getting killed by enemies, since you'll just kill them in 3 to 4 hits, and if you have the ability, you can only kill them in a couple hits. So I would strongly recommend using this kit combo if you want to be really overpowered in Roblox Bedwars. Since the Nyx kit is a solos kit, you can use it in solos, but there's nothing stopping you from using it for duos and squads. I probably wouldn't recommend this for ranked, since you do consistently have to deal a lot of damage, and for late game, unless you have your ability already saved up, it's not too great. This kit really relies on you constantly being in action and constantly killing people, which is why for solos and squads, it's really good. But for ranked, I would try and avoid using this kit combo. Unlike the next kit combo though, which is the Evelyn and the Dagger, this is a very deadly combo when used effectively. If you don't know what the Evelyn kit does, which I'm sure you do by now, after you do a little bit of damage, you can use an orb to teleport to people, and this is where the Dagger really shines. Since you can use the Evelyn kit's teleport ability to teleport right to players, Dagger kind of does the same thing, except it dashes you towards players. So if you combine these two and have like an ultimate teleport combo, it makes for some really deadly attacks. Like, for example, if you're rushing an enemy and you do a little bit of damage and you start to get a little bit low, you can just teleport to your soul and dash right back into them with your dagger, and you get some extra HP and you get them even lower. But make sure to upgrade your damage with this kit, since when you do teleport to people, it does do a little bit of damage, and after they nerfed the dagger this week, it does a little bit less damage. So you might want to upgrade your damage to account for the new changes. This combo also really shines early game, since you can start using it right off the bat. Since you start with one forge point, you can just forge yourself a dagger and rush your enemies instantly, and you'll have that nice sweet teleport combo. And you can also use it to teleport right back up to players as well if they are building the Eiffel Tower with their blocks. And although the Evelyn is great, it really doesn't compare to the Hannah and the Scythe. If you don't already know, with the Hannah, you get a little bit less HP, but you do get an execute ability, so when your enemies get lower, you can just teleport to them and execute them instantly. And that's what makes this kit really good for running away from people. And when paired with weapons like the Scythe, it's a really good trade-off, since you do get that sort of lower hit speed, but having that Hannah kit dealing that insane amount of damage is a really good trade-off. And just like the Evelyn kit as well, you can start using this kit combo instantly. You don't have to worry about getting diamonds or anything like that. You can just forge a Scythe right off the bat and start using this combo. The Scythe is a really good all-round weapon, since it does combine elements of the sword and the hammer, making it a really good diverse weapon for every single game mode. You're not going to have to worry about not dealing enough damage, since the Scythe does a ton of crazy damage, and you're not going to have to worry about your hit speed, because the Scythe has a pretty good hit speed as well. And since the Scythe did get buffed recently, you can use its little like invisible ability to dodge people's attacks, so you're not going to have to worry about having low HP. However, I would definitely recommend forging armor early game as well, since this kit doesn't have 150 HP. Another really cool combo that you guys can do is like and subscribe. And if you are early to my videos, of course, I'm going to drop you guys a few kits. So if you are early to this video and my next video, drop your username down in the comments and I'll give you guys a kit. Speaking of kits that are really good for killing people that are running away, the Lassie kit and the Dagger is a ultimate combo. This is probably my favorite out of everything on this list. If you don't know what the Lassie kit does, basically you can buy a lasso in the shop for 30 iron, and a good old classic cowboy style, you can just throw your lasso at them and bring them right towards you. And when paired with the Dagger, which has a really strong dash ability, it becomes absolutely unstoppable. Since the lasso is really good for catching people that just tower up or run away, it makes the Dagger just that much more stronger and useful with this kit. I'm probably gonna throw up some footage of me using this absolutely insane combo just because of how deadly it can be. And if you get the Emerald Sword variant of the Dagger as well, it just becomes that much more insane. It also makes it really good because you don't have to use things like gloops to slow your enemies down, so it just makes this combo a little bit more convenient to use. This kit is really good for stuff like solos because you often see a ton of Uzi kits roaming around in solos, and it's just really annoying to fight sometimes. For the next kit combo, we have the most iconic combo on this list, which is the Grim Reaper and the Scythe combo. The Grim Reaper has a soul-consuming ability, which basically makes it so you can just run away and consume the souls when you kill people. You really need a high DPS and high ranged weapon for comboing people with the Scythe, and it's sort of a jack of all trades. It's a really safe option if you just want like a nice diverse range. It's a really nice diverse combo, and you're not going to have any problems using it. Since the Scythe does a lot more damage and has a lot more range than the regular sword and the Dagger, you're not going to have many troubles killing people. And if you do end up eliminating people with this combo, you can use the Grim Reaper's soul ability to just run away, rush enemies, or just tower up. However, it really doesn't compare to the next kit combo on this list, which is the Trinity kit and the Hammer. Now, oh my gosh, is the Trinity kit just really good with this 150 HP update? It is really good when you're in a team, since if you squad up with a bunch of light angels, you can just heal yourself and your teammates really quickly. If you really don't know what this kit does for whatever reason, basically you can choose between the light angel and the void angel once you get free kills with the Trinity kit, and when you deal damage, you can heal yourself or your teammates. However, if you have a group of Trinity kits using the Hammer, you're going to be absolutely unstoppable. I have some footage on screen right now of me utilizing this combo with all of my squad mates, and we are just absolutely wiping out the lobby. We ended up destroying that match, and no one could stand a chance. You could even see people typing in chat to rush us because they knew exactly what we were doing. However, since the Hammer does have slow attack speed but really high damage, you are going to need to pair this with either some kind of enchant or a bow. So in case you do get in those really close quarter combats, you're going to need to switch between a few things to make sure that your DPS is still relatively high. The high knockback with the Hammer as well does make it really scary, so if you can get a nice combo on someone, you're going to send them flying and they're not going to even be able to catch you. Putting a complete 180 on the last kit combo, we have the Lumen and Range combo. If you don't know what the Lumen kit does, it replaces the diamond sword with a Lumen sword, which basically acts as a crossbow and a sword smashed together. It has really high range, and once you start forging up your ranged attacks, it has really high range damage, and it makes this kit really overpowered. If you charge up its ability all the way and you hit all of your shots, you can instantly kill people. It's like not even trying to kill people at this point. You're just playing Bedwars on easy mode. It's also really good as a diverse sort of kit because you can only upgrade 3 of your forges, which is your armor, your ranged, and your close combat sword. And it's also really diverse for having every single item in the game. Since you can only go up to diamond sword, you can have a headhunter as well if you want to mix it up a little bit, and you can also max out your armor as well. I tried this out in a ranked match and I ended up destroying the entire lobby, and they were getting pretty annoyed about it as well. These guys were being really salty, which just proves the reliability of this sort of combo. If you want something that's really safe and you don't really want to experiment with any of the new weapons, this is the perfect combo for you. However, if you are willing to experiment a little bit, I would strongly recommend the next kit combo on this list, which is the Axolotl Amy and the Dagger. And of course, guys, the Axolotl Amy is an amazing team kit for ranked and squads, since you have the Axolotls to help you with your health regen, your break speed, and your damage. So pairing it with a really close range weapon like the Dagger just makes it that little bit better. This is a really really good team kit. It's really good at dealing damage quickly or running away from players with your shield Axolotl. And if you're playing something like squads or ranked, you can just group up on your enemies using this combo and it will be absolutely unstoppable. And pair it with enchants and you just become, oh my god, you just become really overpowered. So yeah, if you want to become really overpowered as a team, then I would recommend using this kit combo. But for the next kit combo, we have the Lucia and the Dagger as well. Another dagger combo for this list. If you don't know what the Lucia kit does, it is an amazing PvP kit. Basically, whenever you deal damage to someone, you get some candy, which you can put in a pinata and get a lot of resources. So you're really going to need that high DPS to get as much candy as possible from your enemies, which is why I recommend pairing it with the dagger. With this kit combo as well, you always want to be fighting people, which is why I would recommend either solos or squads for this sort of kit combo. I wouldn't recommend ranked. It's a little bit too risky. If you're in squads, however, you want to rush mid as soon as possible, since you want to get in as many PvP fights as possible so you can get a lot of candy, and you can just run back to your base with all the candy and rinse and repeat. Use the resources that you get from fighting people to then upgrade your weapons to then get more candy and get even better resources. It's sort of like a full circle kind of kit that really involves rhythm and a lot of perfect timing. So if you're really good with the dagger and want some PvP and constant action, I definitely recommend this kit combo.